Hello, everybody. This is Hank Linderman. Welcome to Getting Angry. Well, today is Tuesday, August 11th, in the weirdest year of my life, and I expect one of the weirdest years in your life as well. I'm Hank Linderman, running for Congress here in Kentucky's 2nd District, and I thought maybe I would share with you some of what goes on in the day of what it takes to be a candidate and what you go through running for Congress here in Kentucky's 2nd District. I'm the Democratic nominee. I'm a progressive populist. We've talked about a lot of the, oh, Mr. Hank, says Mark Tomorsky. Mark, do us a favor and share. Because when you share, an angel gets their wings. That's the idea. Anyway, so that picture that I shared right there this morning, see that? Look how beautiful that is. That's from about 4:15 in the morning. I woke up and looked outside, and the sky was looking beautiful, and grabbed my camera and ran down to the lake and took some pictures, or tried to take a picture, realized, oh, didn't have a card in my camera. So the beautiful picture wasn't being recorded. Ran back up to the house in my designated sleeping costume, house pants, and a bathrobe, but took this picture. So that's how my day began this morning at 4:30 and 4:15, something like that. I tried to go back to bed, but it didn't quite work. So I finally got up and had a cup of coffee and started doing some things. Cindy is sharing. Yes. Thank you so much. And I had to get up early because I had a Zoom meeting. I had to look presentable, like this, at 8 in the morning. 9 in the morning? 9 in the morning. But as soon as I finished the Zoom meeting, and it was with something called the Climate Congress, I had to get in the car and then drive an hour to be part of an event that I just now got back from. I'm so glad, by the way, that you all are joining me. This was quite a day. So anyway, I got up, had some coffee, had a little bit of breakfast, went back to bed. The phone started ringing. Okay, fine, I got up. I loaded up the vehicle for my departure at 9:30, waited for the Zoom call at 9, talked about the climate change and all that sort of stuff with a wonderfully dedicated young woman who's part of a group called Climate Congress, and they're a political action committee. And they don't have a lot of money to give out, but what they do have is information on congressional districts. So we were able to talk about reasons that we want to be in favor of renewable energy, wind and solar in particular, and that is going to be the future of the country. Well, once I finished with that, and I asked for their help, and by the way, if any of you are friends with, if you're perhaps friends with Bernie Sanders or AOC, get them to call me, because we could use their flashlights shined on us. That would make a big difference. That would help us out.
Now wait just a damn minute.
Well, you ask for help when you need help, and we do need help. So got in the car and drove an hour to E-Town, Elizabethtown. And if you haven't seen the movie Elizabethtown with Zach, what's his name? Help me. Who did the guy from Scrubs? Anyway, we got to a park and we had a socially distanced gathering, and it was a gathering for Amy McGrath, who's, of course, running against Mitch McConnell for Senate, and I was able to show up and be part of it and meet a bunch of people that were there. We had about 100 people show up, everybody wearing masks and keeping distant. And one of the things that went over really great when I talked to people was the nope button. They really seemed to like the nope button. I'm going to look for a way to show it to you all. Someday I'm going to show you all the buttons that I have to push to do this. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, there we go. There's the nope button. The nope button means no plastics in my environment. And it also is the answer to the question, you voting Republican this year? Nope. So anyway, I was able to give away a whole bunch of nope buttons and tell everybody about what's going on in the 2nd District. So then Amy got up to speak. And like I say, there were a bunch of people. And one of the interesting things was there was someone there who was what we call a tracker. And I'm going to look and see if I've got a picture of him. I don't think the picture has uploaded yet, but I took a picture of him. It was quite interesting. There's somebody there kind of in a black shirt and some blue jeans, and he's videotaping everything that's going on. And he's been hired by the Mitch McConnell campaign to just keep track of everything Amy says. And somebody from her staff said, by the way, that guy is a tracker, so don't talk to him. My approach would be, honestly, to kill the guy with kindness. You want a Coke? We got some pizza? That would be my approach. But this is the race we're in. Now, one of the issues that I think a lot of us aren't really aware of is just the level of greed that has gone on from the likes of folks like Mitch McConnell and Brett Guthrie. Mitch McConnell's been in Congress in the Senate for something like 42 years. No, 36 years, something like that. He has $34 million, earning under $200,000 a year for most of that time. And the shame of it is it's probably all legally acquired, but I think Mark Twain or somebody said, the scandal isn't what's illegal. The scandal is what's legal. And it is just kind of shocking to see the amount of money that flows into the hands of these folks who go into Congress. Now, there was a Republican or a conservative columnist, I think it might have been George Will, said people enter government for one of two reasons, to be someone or to do something. And I think we have a lot of people in Congress and a lot of people in the Senate who are there to be something. They're there to be important, to be a senator, to be a congressman. There are other people who are there to do something, and that they're there to do the right thing. To, for example, if I didn't have to run for Congress to get all that stuff going, if we had a functioning, good-hearted congressperson who wasn't getting wealthy while the rest of us are struggling, then I wouldn't need to run. I wouldn't need to be doing this. Brett Guthrie also, by the way, he has gotten very, very wealthy. He entered Congress 12 years ago and apparently was below average in terms of his net worth, something around $422,000 when he entered 12 years ago. He now apparently, from what we are counting and based on what we can tell from OpenSecrets.org and his filings, he may have as much as $11 million, and even that may not be correct. He also recently announced that a company that he's an owner of, they're called Trace Die and Tool, and they're in Bowling Green. They got $4.4 million in PPP money. It's a lot of money. And $4.4 million in loans and support from the federal government. They got it fairly quickly. Bear in mind, Nancy Pelosi's husband apparently was part of a company that got $300,000. And oh my goodness, conservatives were so upset. This is more than 10 times this amount. And as far as we can tell, this is the most amount of PPP money that has been received by a business that's owned by a government official. It's very significant. And Brett Guthrie apparently released this to the Bowling Green paper, the Evening Standard. the Friday before the 4th of July weekend. So that's usually a good time to bury news like this. Now, my guess is, like I say, like Mitch McConnell, it was probably all legal. But how do you suppose the laws got to be the way they are? There's something unseemly about people who go to Congress, who go to the Senate, and get very, very, very wealthy while the rest of the state is suffering. And the rest of Kentucky is suffering. We have we have a poor economic system in Kentucky. We're one of the worst economies in the country. There's not a lot of job opportunities. People that work here work longer hours for lower wages. So we have some struggles here in Kentucky, and we're not exactly sure what Mitch and Brett have done for the rest of us. Well, anyway, now I want to tell you about the rally because it actually was exciting to me, and I came back pretty pumped up. Amy McGrath, of course, has gotten a lot of national attention. She broke through in her previous congressional race because of her history as a veteran. She's the first female F-15 pilot in the Marine Corps. So that's a history-making achievement right there. She ran in the 6th District in 2018 and lost by a very small amount and was talked into running against Mitch McConnell, most difficult race in the country. And there's been a lot of money brought around her, and she's worked really hard. She won her primary, although it was very close. It was a contested primary. So I've done events with Amy before, and she's always treated me well. And this event was over the top better than anything I've been to in quite some time. Like I say, we had a lot of people, a lot of veterans, a lot of folks coming out from the Elizabethtown area, and including a young man named Ian, and he was with a friend and said, I've been looking for you. I want to be part of your campaign. So Ian, if you're watching, be sure you call that number on the card because, of course, we need all the help we can get here. Remember to share, right? Of course. During the event, I had not asked if I could speak. I had hoped that I would be asked. But while Amy was speaking, she said, she looked over and saw me, and she said, I got some people to introduce. And she said, you want to talk? And I said, why don't you introduce me first, and then I'll talk a little bit later. So she introduced me, introduced a bunch of other candidates, and then handed the mic. Come on, Hank, say a few words, which was really great. And the message was wonderful because there was a lot of support from Democrats for each other. And it would have made you all feel great to see it. So it was a wonderful thing. And then I hopped in the car after talking with a lot of folks and ran back here. Now back to the Nope button. I handed out lots of Nope buttons. And I'm handing out thank you notes, by the way. We're addressing thank you cards for those of you that have contributed. And I'll be throwing in a Nope button for you. I'll be throwing in a Nope button for you that you can wear. And by the way, if you've got an organization that also agrees that we need to cut down on the use of single-use plastic, feel free to take the artwork for the Nope button, and provided you're willing to use it that way, that would be a tremendous, tremendous help. Well, I'm going to be really brief today because, like I say, I've just gotten back. It's already been a really full day. I'm going to show you that picture of the lake this morning, and it was so beautiful and blue, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful way to start this sort of hectic day. Tomorrow, I'm not sure who we have on tomorrow, but I believe Thursday we've got Dr. Greg is coming on, and on Friday we have a possibility that Congressman John Yarmouth from Kentucky's 3rd District, and John is a friend and obviously a long-term Democrat. I believe we're going to be able to get him to come on. If not Friday, he'll come on next week, I hope. And that should be a very interesting discussion. And, of course, Dr. Greg is going to be here on Thursday. Gather up some questions. He said, what are we going to talk about? And I have proposed to him that we talk about testing. I've proposed that we talk to him about, let's see, I'm going to look at my text to him if I can find it. You should see all the buttons I have to push to get this to happen. Where's Greg? Well, I'm not seeing Greg right now. Anyway, we need some questions to Ask Dr. Greg. Okay, I said testing, types of tests, effectiveness, availability. What's it going to take to stop this thing? Of course, my opinion is we have to go Godzilla on this thing. That, by the way, is one of the stories I'm seeing, is that people are agreeing that we need to go Godzilla on it and really get serious about it. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you all for being here so much. Please share this. I really appreciate it. Send us $1 or $2 if you can. You can go to hank4kentucky.com, hank4ky.com. And we haven't even mentioned President Trump. What a mess that this man has put us in. Well, until tomorrow, here I am in the Falls of Rough. I'll be looking for you to come back tomorrow, and I'll have a lot more to talk about tomorrow, but thank you all for being here.